Hey, good morning, my dear friends, and welcome to beautiful Surfside, California. It is an absolutely gorgeous morning. You can see that family walking by the beach, dad up front, serious about surf fishing, the kids and mom all having fun. That is what makes sport fishing so darn great. It's a family affair. It's so great to get your kids out into the great outdoors, just like you saw that family walking by a moment ago. Hey, there's a lot to cover with you. 2 bigeye tuna in California waters, 150 and a 200-pounder. Captain Pete Grossbeck from San Diego asked the rhetorical question, when's the last time 2 bigeye tuna over 100 pounds were caught in California waters? That's a very good question, Pete. We'll answer that in just a little bit. Good bluefin tuna fishing continuing, and there's still fish in the local areas. Boats from Long Beach, San Pedro, all the way down to the border have a shot at bluefin tuna. How was it yesterday? We'll get into that. Yellowfin, Dorado, and so much more. You know what time it is. It's time for the morning briefing. Good morning, my friends. Oh my God, what a lovely Sunday morning it is, and it's so great to spend time with each and every one of you. Please hit that like button, share these videos if you are enjoying them. Also, tick the bell, you'll be notified when there's new content. Sounds like my voice is about ready to go, doesn't it? And leave a comment, that helps. Instagram, Facebook, and TikTok. Please check us out there. We're there every single day for you all. We're on the Independence 5-day trip. It sails from Point Loma Sport Fishing on October the 20th. You can get more information by going to independencesportfishing.com. And don't forget, when you visit Promar Ahi website, everything lobster, 10% off. All you have to do is enter Friedman 10 at checkout, and you'll get a 10% discount. Wow, it's great to be with you. Thanks for joining us, everybody. And there is so much going on. So let's take you south of the border to Ensenada, where there is some offshore hits going on. Some guys get them, some guys don't. It's the nature of the beast. There's a little bit of Dorado, sometimes a lot, depending upon the kelp you hit. A few yellows on the kelps, not that much. And then there's bluefin and also yellowfin marauding around there. We still have that off-color water that persists up and down the Southern California coast. And if you run into that, you're not going to catch it. That even includes offshore. We've got some of that. Man, that just has got to clean up. If that cleaned up, the floodgates would open up. I'm convinced of that. We've got plenty of warm water. We've got a nice flow of fish moving up the Baja coast, but we do have some of that dirty water in some places, and that just is not going to give you a chance to catch much at all. The inshore bite in Ensenada, around Todos Santos, Punta Banda, University Point, and several other areas is producing good bonita fishing, occasional yellowtail. There's still a few barracuda around, sand and calico bass, plenty of rockfish south of the border. Really good fishing when you're inside. So if you get off and strike out, you can always move into the coast and find some pretty good fishing. Over the border we come to the San Diego fleet, and nighttime fishing last night for several boats was outstanding. There's a lot of this 20 to 40 pound fish being taken at night, but once in a while you'll get into that really big stuff. So keep fishing the heavy tackle. 2-speed reels, 100-pound spectra. Don't fish with anything less than 200-pound leaders. Anywhere from 250 to 400 gram jigs. We're going into a really nice weather scenario right now. It's going to get very, very calm and beautiful, so you probably won't need the really heavy jigs, but heck, bring them. You just never know what you'll encounter, especially if you're on a multi-day trip, like a 2-day trip, like we're going to be on the Amigo departing Wednesday night, and that has all the earmarkings for all of you who are on board of a fantastic trip. I love the long-range weather forecast for that trip. It's looking really, really good. So at night, some really good fishing, some great conking going on, and several boats turning in limits of bluefin tuna here over the last couple of days. The Polaris Supreme with limits, Condor limits, Highliner limits, Tribute, Islander, Pacific Dawn, just to name a few, had some really great fishing. KJ from Mag 12 Swim Baits was on the Toronado, and he said, Phil, great fishing for us. We fished Santa Barbara Island first day, loaded up on the rockfish, and then we headed to the bluefin tuna grounds, had between 40 and 50 BFT on board the Tornado. KJ said just a really great group of guys, and they had so much fun on that one. All right, our friend Jolene Thompson was out on board the Sea Watch, and she said great fishing. Now that is a boat, the Sea Watch, that leaves in the morning, comes back that very same evening. It's out of Seaforth Sport Fishing. 46 bluefin tuna, like that 25 to 40 pound range for the most part. There were 5 ladies on board this trip, 4 fishing with Jolene, and they accounted for 11 bluefin tuna. So the ladies continue to do their thing and really put the wood to the fish. She said it was really a fun day of sport fishing. Over on board the Mission Belle with my dear friend Sean Hardigan, who runs the boat, Richard Cayo was on board. And Richard said, you know, I was thinking about hanging it up, had enough of this tuna thing for the year. That wasn't until he got another taste of it. He went 3 for 3 on board the Belle. Nice fishing. Richard said it really was slow in the morning, and then when they got into it in the afternoon, Sean Hardigan never stopped trying, kept on it the whole day. It started to click and really bite well. So that is great news. Now, as Richard points out, sometimes this fish, most times this fish is very finicky, and it won't bite the heavy. It'll bite 20-pound fluorocarbon, 25-pound fluorocarbon, www, you know it's coming, optionusa.com. Put in FA at checkout for a free gift. So keep that in mind. You do want to have some of that lighter. You do want to bring the heavy. But I'm telling you, it's almost as important, if not more, that you have some 20, maybe a little light, but it'll get you bit. 25-pound for sure. And smaller hooks like 4 hooks, 1 hooks, 2 circle hooks like that. That will really do you well. It's almost predominantly down there in San Diego, a tuna bite right now. Mostly mostly yellowfin, but also some bluefin tuna in that neck of the woods. So keep that in mind. There's not a whole lot of Dorado. Hopefully that's going to pick up. Liberty, 107 yellowfin tuna for 43 guys. Great hit on board the Liberty. The San Diego, 76 yellowfin, 28 on the Dorado. So there are some flatheads still around. And man, oh man, that is just great fishing. And as we move you into Monday on this beautiful Sunday morning, I know I'm jumping ahead, but your boat pressure is going to go down and your piece of the pie will get bigger. And that's why we run most of our trips on the weekdays. We get away from the boat pressure, and that's what's going to happen as you move into Monday with gorgeous weather. I'm thinking it's going to get really good for each and every one of you. So some really excellent fishing down there south of the border. Now, that bite, that bluefin bite, and there's a little bit of yellowfin mixed in with it. Check out that yellowfin tuna Marcus Fain had the other day on board the Enterprise. Beautiful fish, mostly bluefin tuna up here. Boats out of Dana, boats out of Oceanside, boats out of Long Beach. They're running down the coast, and they are finding this bluefin tuna, and some days it really wants to bite. It's been mostly a plunker bite. So a plunker bite is defined as a couple of fish going, maybe even once in a while you go dry over a prolonged period of time. You got 25 guys on the boat, and 2 of them have fish going. And then you land one, and then another guy gets bit, and then you land another, and then 2 guys get bit, and then you go dry. That's what a plunker bite is. And by its very nature, it's a very finicky bite. In other words, you'd have everybody on the boat bit if they were biting nails. So that's when you go back to what I was talking about, that lighter fluorocarbon, that choosing a good hot bait, that changing that bait regularly, the stuff that I harp on all the time that you're now hearing in your sleep at night. Those things are going to make you super successful in your bite. So keep that in mind, and that will really help you. Pretty tough for many of the boats, and as we forecast for you on Friday, we thought this boat pressure would be immense, and it was beyond immense. Of course, good weather, you got some exceptional fishing going on. Why not? Why wouldn't there be a ton of people out on the water? So as we move into Monday, that's going to improve also. As I say, the Enterprise has had shots at the fish. The boats Freelance had a great day with my buddy Tim Marquez just the other day, where his cousin caught a bluefin tuna after a prolonged illness. That was such a heartwarming story. They had 20 bluefin on the freelance 3/4 day out of Davies Lock in Newport Beach. So those opportunities abound. And there were private boater hits. Those boys did some damage yesterday. In fact, private boaters have been finding bluefin, and some of the guys go out and fly kites. A lot of that going on near San Clemente Island, and they come up with some 200+ pound stuff. So that is fantastic news. Really good fishing going on. Let me take you all the way up to Fort Bragg, California, where the albacore bite has been really good. And Pete Grossbeck, who ran boats out of San Diego for many years, so knowledgeable, such a great guy, has more knowledge about offshore fishing in his pinky than yours truly. And Pete said that his boss was out fishing Fort Bragg yesterday, and they knew there were big-eye tuna. They studied the water temperatures. They studied the contour of the ocean's floor, and they came up with a game plan, and they went 2 for 4 on the big-eye tuna along with some albacore. One of those BETs weighing 150 pounds, another one at 200 pounds. Wow, what great fishing. And as Pete asked that rhetorical question, he said, when's the last time somebody had 2 big-eye tuna in California waters over 100 pounds? And Pete, I gotta say, it's been a hell of a long time, right? It's been a long time since I was standing in the stern of a San Diego-based boat and watched the boat lines go pow, pow. And everybody looks at one another and goes, uh-oh, big-eye, they're here. So that's pretty interesting. And of course, does it portend big-eye tuna for Southern California later on in the year? Are we going to get a shot at that? Only time will tell on that one. Pete, thanks for providing such great info to us all. Remember, Brad Phillips down there in Bahia Tortuga, Turtle Bay, is reporting that there's a big area of yellowfin and dorado headed our way. Tom Holland reporting that there's squid at the island down there, which is, perplexing, because squid like the cooler water, yellowfin and dorado like the warmer water. It's been a year of really contradictions. We'll see how this all plays out. One thing is for sure, 2023 is going to end mysteriously. We just don't know what's going to happen. Will we get big-eye? Will there be albacore? Will there be, who knows what, aliens? It's a crazy year, I'm telling you, and hopefully we're going to see it play out in really spectacular fashion. That's what it's looking like to me. All right, coastal now, we're talking, bass, sculpin, rockfish down there. The new Seaforth had a yellowtail and really good bass fishing yesterday morning. The Premier had good sand bass fishing. They're catching some sculpin and whitefish to go along with that. Up along the coast, Dana, Oceanside, there's some good calico fishing there. A lot of shorts with good action for many of the boats. Sculpin, whitefish for a lot of those boys down there in that neck of the woods. Up here in the LA Orange County area, the Monte Carlo was out yesterday, and they had whitefish and sheep's head. City of Long Beach had a lot of whitefish yesterday. Enterprise had kind of a novice group, so they laid off the tuna yesterday and had really good fishing on the bottom and stuff. The Patriot got offshore yesterday and had 1 yellowfin tuna. They said they saw quite a bit of fish. That fish is still there. So the fact that you didn't see huge scores yesterday for the local boys is indicative of the boat pressure. I believe they should be able to get back on that. Maybe today, you never know. Maybe tomorrow, we'll see. But that fish has not gone anywhere. They were in a long drift, got 1 yellowfin, had fish boiling all around them all day long. So that is good news. Up there in Redondo, sculpin, rockfish, whitefish, Marina Del Rey, same thing. Up in the Channel Islands, the Island Spirit, Cody Rogers, same kind of a thing. A little bit of surface fish, or some of the boys, no sea bass and halibut to really speak of. No big numbers right now, but up there in the Channel Islands, they continue to hammer away at some good bottom fish, providing great table fare. Santa Barbara's had some great lingcod fishing, at times good rock fishing there in that neck of the woods, so nothing wrong with that. Surf fishing, man, I'll tell you, things are finally starting to clean up here on the beach. It's nice and clean, and where you find that clean water, you're catching corvina in the real short water on sand crabs or on some other type of bait. Other type of bait. You can dig up sandworms. You can go to Big Fish Bait and Tackle in the beautiful city of Seal Beach, California, right down here, a stone's throw away, and they've got a vast array of different baits for you. And all of those will work on the corvina. Those ghost shrimp, they work really, really well, and so does the worms and everything else. So that's pretty good. There's some yellowfin croaker. You can take those. My favorite way is on a 3/4 ounce chrome crocodile. Make a cast, wind it back, boom. Those things are very aggressive and a lot of fun to catch. And there's no mistaking a yellowfin croaker. Your rod's just going like that when they initially bite. They are a cool fish and a lot of fun to catch. Some spot fin croaker have shown up here in Bolsa Chica, and even here in Surfside, fishing sandworms or some kind of worm is probably the best way to go on that. And still some halibut on Lucky Crab lures. They're biting also at times. All right, my friends, don't forget, if you're going to get your lobster gear, do it with Friedman Adventures. I'd really appreciate it. You go to the Promar Ahi website, put in Friedman 10 at checkout. Indy, we're going on board the Independence October 20th. More information on that, book online right now. You can do that by going to independentsportfishing.com. We're on board the Amigo Wednesday night. All of you guys who are on there, I'll have some information as it stands, and I don't think it's going to change. Bring the kitchen sink. Don't leave your light stuff. Don't leave your heavy stuff at home. We could be hammering on some Cortez Bank big yellows as well as catching tuna and so much more. Have a great day, my friends. As always, it's so nice to spend time with you here on this lovely Sunday. And of course, I hope to see you really, really soon. Hey everybody, I just finished the morning briefing and I am so thrilled because, hey, come over here, you. What are you doing down here?
Man, oh man.
My God, is it good to see you,
it's
Todd
good to see
Woods?
you. Wow.
How are you, my friend?
I am better than I deserve, as some would say.
Me too.
Very, very blessed.
We're blessed to be here. Look at this sun coming up. It's a gorgeous day here in Surfside.
I see why you do this every single morning. Look at this.
I know. Well,
this is beautiful.
I see your morning prayer every morning, and I love to read that, and it kind of focuses me and gets me pointed in the right direction. And then I walk out here, and look at this, Todd. I mean, it's absolutely beautiful.
Yeah, God's creation right here.
Thank you for this pleasant surprise, man.
Thank
I
you
had
for
no
having
idea.
me. Yeah.
My son Patrick told me you got a very special guest heading your way on Thursday morning. And he said, when are you doing your report? And I said, like 7 a.m. And I got up at 4 this morning, full of energy, started researching. And then I went out and I tried to do is get it uploaded so that I could come out here at 7. I had no idea. Special guest. Who wants to see me?
Who wants to see you? You're a rock star of the ocean. It's awesome. It's great because I watch your show every morning, and on a sidebar, my best friend's a pastor. He's the one that makes that morning morning prayer. He sends it to me, and then I just copy and paste it. Sometimes I'll throw a picture on there and everything. And every Monday through Friday, I put that on there.
That is great.
Yeah,
Fantastic.
Yeah. No, it's a great deal, and it's short. It's just something you can read to just kind of start your day off, and hopefully give you some inspiration.
Gives you some positivity to start your day with,
always,
which is so important.
Yes. And he loves to fish.
Oh, that's great.
I went on the Tony Reyes trip with him back in July.
We got to get him down here someday when this starts biting.
Oh, he would love it.
Yeah, this is cleaned up quite a bit. It was red tide, but it looks good now.
Yeah, I went out with Benny Florentino. You know Benny?
Oh, I do.
Yeah, I went out with him
guy.
last weekend, and that's how the water we hit a little bit of this red stuff. Still great fishing, great
calico bass.
Yeah, we went to Catalina.
Yeah.
Missed the yellowfin bite by a day. I guess he caught 3 of them the day before on the way back from Catalina.
Yeah.
And we couldn't find any, but we had a great time. We caught like 20 calicos.
Speaking of rock stars, you are a rock star in the freshwater bass arena. I've interviewed you several times at Bass Pro Shops, and I admire your work, man. You are one heck of a fisherman.
Well, I appreciate that. I try to stay humble, but when somebody calls me a rock star, it just makes me want to grin ear to ear. I don't want to say, no, I'm not, but it really gives me joy you saying that. That means a lot to me. I love the sport of bass fishing. I love teaching the sport of bass fishing. I just love being around water. Yeah. And that's the reason why tomorrow I'm going on the Mission Bell, fish with Sean.
My buddy Sean Hardigan.
Yeah.
So, great. Say hi to him for me.
I will, absolutely. So I'm looking forward to that. That boat's always on fish.
Yeah.
Got a few open spots if anybody's interested. It is a charter, so but yeah, it should be fun.
Oh, that'll be great. Sean is a hard fisherman. He actually stays with a guy, Scott Bucher.
Okay.
Him and his girlfriend Mimi. And Mimi's going to have a baby here in another month.
Yeah, yeah.
So, Mimi, congratulations.
Yeah, congratulations to Sean.
Yeah.
Yeah, he told me that. He's pretty excited about that. We had a little chat about that. Being in the bass fishing world, he likes to bass fish too.
Oh, I know.
Yeah.
A lot of these guys do.
I know.
These saltwater guys.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So he let me come up on the helm and hang out with him. And he told me, he was expecting a child. So I was pretty excited.
Yeah. So do you guide or do you do anything?
No,
if anybody out there wants to join you, they can't do that?
Oh, they can join me anytime. I'm not the guy. I'm not the guy that charges $500. There's some great guides out there.
Yeah.
I like to go when they're biting. And so to be a guide year-round, you have to be able to find fish year-round, and sometimes I just go just for fun. Obviously I'm a tournament guy, but yeah, absolutely, I would take a guy out in a heartbeat.
Yeah.
They can get me on my social media, Todd Woods Fishing, Instagram, and of course Facebook.
It's all Todd Woods Fishing?
Yeah, Todd Woods Fishing.
Perfect,
yeah,
perfect.
Absolutely.
What's up with the tournaments? When's your next tournament?
My next tournament is actually going to be the U.S. Open, Western Outdoor News U.S. Open. It starts on October 15th.
Yes.
So it's the 15th, 16th, and 17th.
That's
It's in Lake Mojave.
Yeah. Oh,
yeah,
okay.
Yeah. It's traditionally at Lake Mead every year.
Yeah.
But the water's been low. Fortunately, it's starting to come back up.
Yeah.
So we're hoping to have it back at Lake Mead by next year.
That should be exciting. You plan on winning that thing?
I always plan on winning. I've been fortunate. Mojave is a little tougher because it's really narrow.
Yeah.
And it's kind of like, you have to be at the right place at the right time. A good friend of mine won last year, Josh Bertram.
Yeah.
He's a big Berkeley guy, and he's an excellent fisherman actually. And I think it was like his second time fishing the lake.
Oh, really?
Yeah, or should I say?
And he won it.
And he won it last year.
What's the prize? Is it substantial prize?
It's like $100,000 right around that area.
Todd, if you happen to win that, man.
Yes, sir.
100 G's.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah. So I've come close. I came in second in 2014. So I've been, I've been on the cusp,
Yeah.
times.
So what, fishing Lake Mojave, do you have a tip? Because I actually was over at Gallagher Staging. That's where we store all the clothing, which is a segue to the fact that you got a nice bag of clothing for our efforts in Mexico that you haul down.
I do, yeah. It's funny because like I said, I got here at 6:30. I was on the other end of the beach, and I looked like Santa Claus. I had this bag of clothing I was going to bring you, and it was getting close to 7 o'clock, and I went, oh no, I'm never going to make it from all the way over there. So I called your son. He said, oh, he's by the jetty. So I put the clothes back in the truck, and yeah, I do have a bag of clothes, for you to give away. But you did ask about a tip. My tip is
Mojave,
is super easy drop shot. You want to drop shot a flatworm, okay? And like anything small, 4-inch. It doesn't seem to matter what color. That's how Josh won it last year, and that bait will work year-round.
Okay.
Berkeley flatworm.
Okay.
Yeah, so that's my tip.
Color important, anything like
either
that?
green pumpkin or there's a color called brown back, I think it is. It's like a brown and whitish color.
Yeah.
But it's something special about that Berkeley bait. It's like fishing with live bait.
Yeah.
So you definitely, it doesn't seem to matter what color. I don't know smallmouth. I don't know a lot about the senses of a smallmouth, but when they, I want to say smell it, I knew they'll have a sense of smell.
Yeah.
They eat it. It doesn't seem to matter what color.
All right, so it's super effective.
Yeah, absolutely.
Right. How about places to fish? I probably don't want to give away too much on that, but
No. I mean, places to fish.
parts of the lake.
Yeah, Mojave, every year around this time of the year, they do a water drop. So there's not a lot of tulies to fish. There's not a lot of shallow cover, but there is some deeper grass. There's some points that you can see because water is really, really clear.
Yeah.
So there's some long points you can see. The thing about smallmouth, and Mojave's mostly full of smallmouth bass. It does have largemouth and striped bass.
Yeah.
The thing about smallmouth bass is they're always moving. Of course, I say that all fish are always moving because they're swimming.
Yeah.
But definitely a smallmouth more so than a largemouth. They're not really territorial. They're only really territorial in the springtime. So they're always moving. Well, why are they moving? Because they're trying to find something to eat.
They're trying to find something.
Yeah, so find the shad, find the bass.
Yeah. Oh, okay. That's really important stuff.
Absolutely.
Good. How about after that? Any more tournaments coming up? Or is that...
After that, I've got the FLW Championship. That's going to be at Table Rock at the end of October, right after the U.S.
Where's Table
Open.
Rock?
It's a good question. Missouri.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. Table
wow,
Rock,
you're all over
Missouri.
the place then.
Yeah, and that's like an annual late year deal that I do, and so yeah, I'm excited about that. last year, I think it was at Guntersville. I fished that one. I didn't do so well, but I had a great time.
Yeah.
Yeah, you know.
You ever do any surf fishing?
No.
You're coming back here, and we're going to do that
Okay,
together.
good.
You want to do that?
Absolutely.
Man, it's fun. I'll tell you. You can, like, just cast right beyond that wave there, Todd. You just cast a little chrome crocodile, and you wind on it. Man, when you get bit, you feel like it's a freaking wahoo or something.
Really?
And it's actually not. It's a yellowfin croaker or something like that, but it's fun.
What pound test are you using?
So when you're, throwing a jig 20, it's maybe a little overkill, but sometimes you'll hook these bat rays, and they get up to 200 pounds.
Yeah.
So I have literally, in the past, and I haven't had much time this year, but in the past I've said, I could use a 20-minute break. I got a meeting, but I need to get out there. And I get out here, I catch a yellowfin croaker, and then all of a sudden I go, oh no. And I've hooked a bat ray. And I'm walking back and forth here for an hour.
Wow.
Because they're big, and then you finally get them and release them. But there's all kinds of stuff. You can catch halibut here and all kinds of great fish.
Ever catch a little white sea bass out here?
Yeah, I have actually. Yeah.
Okay.
You get these little guys. Some guys, I saw a posting on Facebook the other day, had legal sea bass off the beach. I'm not sure if they were fishing PV. A lot of guys up there off the rocks get them up there.
Yeah. Now they've had a lot of programs, right, to stock fingerling. Yeah.
Yes.
When was the last program, would you say?
It's still ongoing.
Okay,
so they're still doing that.
Yeah.
I think that's made a great impact on the fishery. Getting rid of gill nets perhaps was the biggest thing. That was many years ago, and you could see the correlation from when the gill netting stopped to better population, and then it just grew exponentially after that.
Yeah.
So then we had great sea bass fishing after that. In fact, I remember as a kid, Todd, thinking, I'm not going to even get my captain's license. There's no way that this is going to continue. When I'm an old guy, like I am now, fishing's going to be terrible. And man, was I exactly wrong. It's better now.
Yeah.
We look at these giant bluefin tuna and this yellowfin and the dorado that we had last year. It's been incredible.
Yeah, it really is. And, that's another thing you might want to do on your show is show us how to cook these things. I smoked the bluefin. I've eaten them raw, sushi, type of deal. It'd just be curious to know some different recipes.
I think that's a great idea. I'm going to take you up on that.
Yeah. I'd love to join you on that.
Oh, really? Do you like to cook?
I love to cook.
Oh, man.
Yeah, absolutely. I've got it's not a Traeger, but it's a Traeger style. They call it pellet grill, a Cabela's one. Grill shop. And I cooked that thing all the I made some boneless, skinless thighs in it yesterday.
Oh my God! I see the Todd and Phil show coming soon from a kitchen near you.
Yeah. The Todd and Phil show, and now you're doing the walk.
Yeah.
Which has really encouraged me. I just joined the gym. I posted a little thing on my Facebook page. Got 250 pounds. I need to lose at least 30 pounds. That's my goal. So I'm thinking if I can bring my audience to my journey, that'll encourage me to lose more weight.
Hey, I would love to follow you on that. And Todd's making reference to a new YouTube channel that I have, Walk with Phil. It's all about getting healthy, feeling better. And I'm not, I'm still too big. I'm trying to lose weight, but it's following the journey.
Absolutely.
Let's follow you on there.
Yeah.
We could do a whole thing on that, on your journey, what diet you're on.
Okay.
I'm presently on the carnivore. But I'm not, I'm not trying to sell anybody on anything.
Yeah.
You may be on something that works even better.
Yeah, I'm intermediate fasting.
Which is great,
I think.
Yeah.
And I love meat. I could see myself on that too, but I also love fruits and vegetables.
Yeah.
And, I just love to eat. And I think I've just really had too much sugar intake. So that's like my number one.
That's the killer.
Yeah. So I'm taking
and foods that convert to sugar, potatoes and stuff like that.
Yeah, potatoes, rice, starchy foods.
Yeah. That's great, man. I know it's, how long have you been doing this?
I just started literally I think I might be on my 4th day or 3rd day or something.
Have you felt any positivity?
I feel different.
You feel better or different?
The problem, and my wife brought this up, you talk about, you get up at what, 4 o'clock in the morning?
Sometimes, most days.
I was up at 3:30 this morning.
There you are.
Not on purpose. I have my alarm set at 6 o'clock to be here. And at 3:30,
your eyes open.
Yeah,
and you're done, right?
Oh, 100%.
Yeah.
So I think my wife's like, that's because you're not full of carbs, and
she's
maybe
right.
that's so she says it'll get better, sleeping wise, but I feel like I have a lot of more energy.
Oh, I mean, you always have a lot of energy, but now it seems like you got more.
Yeah, and I'm hoping it'll translate to my fishing, especially the U.S. Open coming up, because what was happening with me is, we practice in these tournaments, And I was wore out after my practice days. I practiced for 3 or 4 days. And after that, I'd be like, man, I don't even feel like fishing a tournament the next day. You know, so it was either don't practice, which is bad, or lose some weight to get healthier. And so that's the choice that I'm going with, the healthier.
Yeah, I don't know how much I've lost because I went away October 5th, but I sometimes serve beer at the Orange County Fair, and I got in there, and you got to put on a work shirt uniform, and I'm going, no XL, seriously? You know, I go, all right, I'll wear a large and not button it, you know, whatever. Friggin', I buttoned it. I'm like,
wow.
Oh my God, I'm in a large again.
Yeah, I wouldn't know what that. I've always been an XL.
Yeah.
I've been close to double XL.
Me too.
And I'm like, that was another sign, like, you got to do something, bro.
By the way, you have no idea. You're 250, you said?
Yeah.
You know what I was at my worst?
What?
You want to take a guess?
260.
420.
Holy.
I got you beat there. Yeah, I was just out of control. This was maybe 30 years ago.
420.
420. And then I ended up going to China, and I had lost a lot of weight, but I put it back on. When I got to China, the Chinese have no problem with fat shaming. I literally walked into a supermarket, and I also had this huge hernia. So it looked like I had a freaking basketball under my shirt.
Yeah.
And which I had surgery in China, mainland China. That's a whole nother story.
Sure.
But I walked into a supermarket, and some guy, Chinese guy, like 80 years old, he goes, I'm standing there going, I got to lose this somehow. I'm done with this.
Yeah.
You know, so I had the hernia surgery.
That was great. That was great that he did that.
Yeah. I mean, there's two ways to look at this. That guy's a jerk. He shouldn't have done that, blah, blah, blah. I don't believe in that.
Yeah.
I believe in
things
this guy is...
He's talking to you.
He's talking to me. You're not healthy, dude.
No. And God uses people.
I agree.
All the time. Bad people and good people.
As long as you take it in the right way, right, Todd? Because some people would take that, he fat shamed me. Yeah. Forget that.
No.
So it was really that guy that induced me to, and so the other thing in China is that, you know, when they said, hey, you're teaching on the 5th floor, copy room's on the 1st floor, and I said, great, where's the elevator? There's no elevators. Wow, you lazy, come on.
Right.
And so, you know, up and down, up and down, up and down, probably doing 40 flights of stairs a day minimum.
Yeah.
And then all of a sudden, back down I went, and I go to myself at that point in time, this feels too good to go back. But I came here, and I gained like 25 pounds, and I caught it, and I said, I got to put the brakes on.
Yeah.
So that's where we are right now.
Yeah. Well, definitely. We definitely need to talk about having healthy art because we want to live as long as we can.
Yeah, and live a good life, right?
Yeah, exactly. We don't want to be dependent on our children to,
babysit us.
Yeah, we're getting that.
I heard, and I like this, it's not about putting more years in your life, it's about putting more life in your years.
I like that.
Right?
Yeah,
so
absolutely. Quality of life.
Yeah, and then you feel better and everything else. You can get out and fish and do all these things.
Yeah, and I mean, one of the things people don't realize, and that I love to take people that don't consider fishing a sport out, because usually by the time, if it doesn't happen in the boat, it happens on the way home. They're passed out sleep because they got wore out.
Yeah, right. Whether it's the sun or the new activity or whatever it is.
Yeah,
it's so
it burns calories.
Yeah. The other thing it does, and I use the movies for this sometimes, it gives you this escape from reality where you're focused on the ocean, the fish, catching a fish. You leave everything back there on land, and somehow it gives you renewed strength and energy.
Absolutely.
You agree?
Oh, no, I agree 100%. And that's funny because one of the things I said, as I posted a picture on my Facebook the other day, as I was, this was as I was leaving fishing with Benny Florentino, I was like, man, I'll be 60 in December, and I'm like,
you are a young-looking 60, man.
Yeah, but I'm so blessed to be out here and doing what I do.
Yeah, right.
And some people, they don't understand. All you need to do sometimes is just step out here and walk a quarter of a mile, and your life will be changed.
Yeah, I agree.
Just by the sound. Some of your videos are louder than others because of the sound of the surf. I noticed.
Yeah.
How can you?
And because I don't turn my mic on.
Okay, well, it's on now. I see the blue light. but the sound of the surf, you know, just it's something about
exhilarating, right?
Loves this. And we always try to get when we get close to the water, we try to get a hotel where we can open the windows and listen to this sound.
Yeah.
There's nothing better.
You know, besides diet, something that you do every day, and we've talked about it, is you post that morning prayer that your pastor sends you. Not trying to push religion on anybody.
No, exactly.
It can be whatever you want. But starting your day on a note of positivity is so important. And I remember in China, I got away from it here, I would take a half hour every morning, I'd sit there and drink my coffee, and I'd plan my day out. And more than anything, and you know this as well as me, gratitude.
Yeah.
You know, there's always, no matter how bad things are,
Yeah.
you can always find something to be grateful about, and you can always look at some poor other person and see that they are in a really bad state. So, you know, if your electric windows aren't going up on your car and you're having a fit over that, there's somebody out there suffering with cancer, somebody that just lost a son or a daughter, or a mother or a father.
Absolutely.
Gratitude, right?
No, 100%. And something that just happened to me on the way here is I didn't really know where Surfside was. So I walked up to a guy that was watching this kid surf, and I said, "Hey, can you show me where Surfside is?" And of course I've got this bag on my back, so I'm sure I look, with the exception of this camera, I'm sure I probably look like a homeless guy, you know, and I could kind of, you know, and so I was thinking that we could be the guy, you know, walking along here looking for cans, and some of those, don't get me wrong, some of those guys, when I say that, you know, the homeless thing, living in Long Beach, we have a lot of guys that are homeless, that, you know, that are in the area, and it definitely affects you thinking to yourself. If you have to take a minute, you know, if you're late on your bills or whatever, just think for a second, at least you're not that guy.
Yeah, right.
Yeah.
And a lot of those guys, I mean, some people say that they're lazy or blah, blah. I thoroughly believe it's a mental health thing for most of those people. There's a lot of mental illness going on there. I mean, you can see that, people talking to themselves, and, you know. And
some of us are a paycheck away from being homeless.
Absolutely.
Yeah, you know.
Yeah.
And so if you don't have a support group with you, that's the other problem. Not only do you have to have a support group, but you have to be open to saying, I need help. You know, and some people carry their pride around with them. And it doesn't seem like in the fishing world, we don't have that problem. You know, we reach out, we're community.
Yes.
Yeah, that's
definitely.
the word. We're community, and the community thing goes a long way.
Yeah, and that's proven by the fact that you're dragging down a bag of clothing. You've heard about our efforts in Mexico, and all the stuff we do in Mexico is because of people like you. I just get to go play Santa Claus, which I love to do. You know, I love, and I speak Spanish, and I love Mexico. And people down there, there's no safety net. You know, when you're poor and really poor, you're in bad shape. So thanks for doing that.
No problem. You're an inspiration. When I watch your show, just the way you talk on the camera, it just inspires me to want to do good.
I think you're better than me, man. You are awesome.
Oh, I appreciate that. I really do.
You know, when I was down here and walking out on the beach to see who it was, this mystery guest, the first thing I heard was this cock-a-doodle-doo crow. You do it pretty good. You want to do that for everybody?
Yeah, absolutely. I'll try. Of course, when you put me on pressure, but here we go.
Oh, you nailed it!
Yeah, put that on the beginning of your show, right?
Yeah, oh my God, that's going on.
Yes,
Let me tell you how many people do that.
Oh
my God, it's so funny. Yeah, and I had no idea that it would be that crazy like that, but it turned out to be really, really good.
Yeah,
you know?
Absolutely. Hey, look at this! Hi there. That's too funny. Yeah, and the seagulls, you know.
Yeah, right.
Yeah, I just did a video recently where I got hoodwinked they tried to hoodwink by a sea lion when we were out there in Catalina, and I added to the video. It looks like the sound effects. You know, when you're editing stuff, you add this and that. I added the dinosaur roar.
Oh, perfect.
Yeah, so it came out pretty good.
Perfect.
Yeah.
Well, I see all kinds of things in our future. I'm so glad you came down here. Let's see, we've got cooking videos to do. We're doing the health thing together.
Absolutely.
Of course, the fishing, right?
Yeah.
So, you know, I've also started doing this walk with Phil thing, where we meet down. You got to show up.
I was going to show up. Because,
really?
Yeah, because when I saw that, I'm like, I'm in Long Beach. I'm 10 minutes to the bridge.
Yeah.
You know, and so I'm like, okay, I'm going to get there. I'm going to get there. So yeah, I definitely.
You
wanna do
off
that
Saturday, Sundays, or?
Yes, I work at Anglers Marine on Mondays and Thursdays.
Yeah.
Yeah, and so.
Where at which Anglers Marine?
The one in Anaheim.
Oh, perfect.
Yeah.
People can come over and visit you there?
All the time.
Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely. Your son, I think he has a boat that he bought from there.
Yeah.
And yeah, so he comes by there all the time. But yeah, and they have great tackle. Obviously, they have boats for sale. It's probably the best mechanic shop, I would say, around. Of course, I'm being biased. I'm sponsored by Anglers Marine as a fisherman.
Yeah.
But they really they have so many varieties of mechanics. They have guys that specialize in electronics. They have guys specialize in motors. There's guys that specialize in putting in new carpet. You know, we got it all there. And our salesmen are probably the manager, Mark. He's probably one of the best sales guys out there as far as he's a people person. You know, and that's important.
So important.
Yeah, none of our guys try to upsell you. You know, they try to give you what you want and what you need.
Yeah, perfect.
Yeah.
Perfect.
Yeah.
That sounds good. One other thing that just comes into my head here, the Danny Cadota show. Have you ever watched that? You know Danny? I mean, he's a big
watched him
freshwater-
on your show.
Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely.
You've got to come out and be on his show.
I would love that.
Yeah.
Just let me know when. He's been doing the bass thing for years.
Yeah.
I know he was a big time crawdad guy. He used to catch 20.
Yes.
Did he catch like a 20-pounder at Cast Lake many years ago? Yeah. So
He's got that mounted at his house.
Yes, I would love to be on his show.
Really? And
Yeah.
Thursday nights at 6? Does that work for
No,
you? or
yeah,
not?
absolutely. Yeah,
Sure, we'll put
Thursday
that
night.
together.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah.
Todd,
anytime.
I don't know what to say, man.
Thanks for having me.
Thank you for being here. Are you
No
kidding me, man?
problem. Yes, sir.
It's so good to see you, and let's keep working on all this stuff.
Yeah.
You and I got way too much in common.
Absolutely.
And you're an exceptional human being,
Oh, man,
besides
thanks.
being a great fisherman.
Oh, I appreciate
and, man, it was great to see you today.
Awesome.
All right,
Good deal.
man.
All right.
Should
Yes,
I make
sir.
you do the cock-a-doodle-doo one more time?
One more
or no?
time, and then you can
Yeah,
just
then
like
we're
that.
out. How's that? Todd Woods, everybody. Todd, thanks again.
Thanks, brother. Appreciate it.
Awesome.